Hi, everybody. I just wanted to give you a brief update on the stock market and what's been going on after hours, as well as to talk a little bit about earnings so that you know what we're walking into tomorrow. Today, the SPY was up 1.46%, so almost 1.5%, and in after hours was down 0.56%. It did have a pullback because, let me tell you, earnings were kind of not that great. So we'll get into that in this video, as well as talk about what's moving in the after hours and some news catalysts you should be made aware of. Please remember, nothing I say is financial advice. Always do your own DD. If you could, smash that like button. It helps with the algorithm, and I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you. All right, guys, so a lot of people have been asking me too where I get this information from, and it comes from Webull. If you don't have them, I do have an offer code in the description below that will entitle you to free stocks. If you're interested, I think you get them for free just for signing up, and if you put like even a $5 or $100 deposit, something very small, then they give you even more. So check into that because there are some great tools on there. I love the heat map that they give you at the end of the day, and the stocks that I'm going to show you that are moving in the after hours. It is very helpful because during the day you can go on and get what's moving in the past hour. You know, there's a bunch of different settings, and it really helps you to find stocks that have volume because that's what you want to be trading. Now, anyways, as far as today goes, the indices were green except for the Dow. It was slightly red. Guys, remember that while the NASDAQ was crashing, the Dow was always very strong. It was the last to really lose strength. And I think that you're going to see that the Dow isn't holding up right now, as well as the NASDAQ is moving to the upside, because a lot of the companies in the Dow that have been there for a long time, like those dividend stocks, McDonald's and things of the such that got really inflated, crashed during the pandemic and during you know, this past crash basically that we've seen. I mean, it's not really a crash, but the bear market that we've seen, some of those held up very, very well. They became like safety stocks. Well, now that people are going to be moving away, as long as it continues to have a bull rally, they'll be moving out of those safety stocks and more into growth stocks and the NASDAQ related stocks. So you may find that the Dow, you know, doesn't hold up as well as the NASDAQ at the moment. And as you can see from what's moving, and I'm also going to tell you at the end of the video what's trending on my scanner. And I noticed that a lot of them are in tech and software IT. So you'll notice those are our biggest green sectors today, and then banking, healthcare, retail, industrial goods, and so on and so forth. But those are the major. Now, if you notice what's down, it's food and beverages, insurance, mineral resources, energy, pharma, and med. So you see the shift occurring. It's very important you follow this because you want to trade inside indices that are green, because that's where you're going to get the most volume and biggest upside potential, right? So just to go over quickly, Ford had earnings, and unfortunately they were a miss. So you can see that it has fallen down 6.62% in the after hours. This is very common for Ford, and it tends to rebound. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see a nice rebound to the upside tomorrow in the stock. Now, Apple had its first miss, I believe, in like 7 years, something crazy like that, guys. And I think they blamed a lot of it on supply issues. So apparently not as much iPhones were getting sold, and it really brought the stock down 3.31% in the after hours. But if you notice, it was up 3.77% on the day. So all in all, for the entire day, counting after hours, it's still technically green. So quite an interesting note to take. And notice it dipped, and then in the earnings call, it seemed to go back up, but then somewhere along the way, it fell back down again. So something to keep an eye on tomorrow. I have a feeling Apple is Apple, and if the market's green tomorrow, it will rebound nicely. I'd be surprised if it didn't. Now, Amazon didn't do so well either. I think they were mixed with their earnings, and just gosh, up $7.71 or 7.33% on the day, but down 5.06% in the after hours. So once again, I mean, it's still technically green on the day, which is a plus. But these have been beaten down so hard, guys, that I think like they'd have to have a real disaster for them to just totally go off the deep end. And Alphabet, their ad revenue was down and just, you know, kind of ugly too. So they were down, well, they were up 7.35% on the day, but down 4.57 in the after hours from earnings. But guys, they rebounded nicely. Now, if you didn't see my video on Silvergate, I suggest that you watch it because they were down significantly, and that is a potential squeeze candidate. It was looking beautiful today, but the DOJ is investing them regarding the Alameda and FTX and their involvement in that. So something to think about, but there are also reported more institutional buying in that stock. So I don't think it's going to stay down for long. I think that this drop actually presented an opportunity. So check out that video if you haven't already. And then one more quick update. JWN, which you'll notice is on my top gainers in the after hours list. That is because guess who? Very own Ryan Cohen bought a big stake in JWN. And it seems like wherever that man goes, you immediately get a pump, but sometimes followed by a dump, because I think he has a lot of haters. I hate to say it. Don't know the guy. Don't have anything against him, but it just seems that when he buys a stock, it initially gets inflated, and then we saw what happened with Chewy. We saw what happened with Bed Bath & Beyond, so I don't know. But anyways, enjoy the ride while it lasts, but be prepared because I bet you there's people waiting to short it. Not trying to be cruel, but it's just a pattern I've noticed. Anyways, the top gainers are Gene, Gene, RSLS, MGTA, PCSA, and JWN because of Ryan. Then top losers, God, every time I see VS, I want to say Victoria's Secret. I'm sorry. Top losers are Versus Systems, VS, MSGM, Motorsport Games. I can't believe it's still holding $22.96 though. This is unbelievable. Then we have VVPR, Vivo Power International, Wolf, TerraWolf, and GSUN, Golden Sun Education. Now, this is interesting because I thought that this was pumping earlier, but maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe it was yesterday. I just thought that I heard that going to the upside. Most active, Mullen. I just did a video on that. So if you're not sure what's going on with Mullen, check it out. Excella. Guys, please, please, please. I'm not saying you can't make money potentially in Excella, but this stock has been nothing but a disaster for the last 2 years. I urge everyone to be very cautious. They are under 10 cents. That is not a good sign. They just recently, like within the past year, had a reverse split. It came all the way back down to 6 cents. And I think it was like a ridiculous 100 to 1 or something reverse split. It wasn't like a 2-for-1. This is just crazy. The stock has been beat down. Imagine shorting this. Like, you would be up so many thousands of a percent. Yeah, maybe there's a potential if they ever decide to cover, but I think the company would go bankrupt before that happens. And I hope that that's not the case, but I hate to say it. I've just seen nothing but ugliness in the stock. So I advise you, if you're going to take a position on this, this is not something you want to hold in your account, because let me tell you, it will be a disaster that you wish you never got yourself involved with. Although at 6 cents, I don't know how much lower it can go, but, you know, I said that at 10 cents with it, and it's continuing to go down, so I guess it can go lower. All right, Tesla. Tesla is actually down today, but it's still most active. Well, it's down in the after hours. It's up on the day, I believe. It's down 2.23% in after hours. But guys, this hit like 194 or 195, I think, earlier today. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm comparing it to Meta. I am. Sorry. My apologies. But yeah, Tesla down in the after hours. Amazon, you all know that's from earnings. And Meta. Meta had, oh my God, Meta was the one that hit like 194, 195 area and then pulled back. Guys, this was up like $40 or $50 at its high today. So expect a pullback. That's normal. Interesting to see if it continues because it did get a upgrade for $220 per share. So keep an eye on that. And, you know, some second chance opportunities in Amazon, in my opinion. If you didn't get on Meta, watch it. Watch when that little pullback stops pulling back and starts to go to the upside, because it's still a great price in my opinion. All right. And technical analysis, our top list, Mullen. Guys, Mullen is just killing it today. Hopefully we see a nice move up in Mullen. I'd love for that to happen. I'd love them to get back to $1 naturally. And look at this. It is everything, well, 3 out of the 5 is EV companies. Mullen, Ford, Palantir, PLTR. Palantir is not EV, but NEO, and then ELYS Gaming. Very interesting, because technical analysis, guys, that's great to see, because generally that's bullish for the stock when they're putting them on this list. As you can see, they're green. So anyways, I'm going to give you the scanner end of the day right now. I suggest you pause the video and get a pen and paper, because some of those names that you trade or like that are on there, you may want to write down for a watch list for tomorrow. All right, guys, so I'm going to try this again for you. We had quite a rough after hours for the major earning reports in Apple, Amazon, and Google. They were all misses and are down in the after hours. But you can see the SPY seems like it is trying to actually recover, which I like to see. Here's what is being highlighted at the last few minutes into close on my scanner. I see IWN, RETA, RETA, CVCO, SCLX, BCSA, TIMBR, THCH, LIPO, I think that says CINT, WGS, GENE, BITF, Amazon, which is AMZN, NET, NET, CRNC, Stitch Fix, SFIX, Leafly, LFLY, ORCH, SDIG, GILD, ESPR, CTRM, INSM, APLS, BYD, TMC. TMC, guys, is my play of the year, and it's actually been really nice this past week. It's starting to break to the upside, so I love to see that. Keep your eye on that one. INVO, VYPR, BHG, NUWE, which I think is a favorite of a lot of people that watch my channel, WULF, STRC, AWIH, TCBP, WGS, JWN, MGTA, and I don't know why there's a triangle over the one. Oh, Gene, GENE. Oops. And there it went. Very strange. All right, guys. Well, that's it anyways. I got to the end. So keep those on your radar. Go back, re-listen, grab a pen if you need to, because honestly, a lot of times these after-hour plays you start to see play out in the end of the day. So, oh, it's back. I don't know what I hit, but, oh, so GENE, which we had, and then REGLS or something like that. But guys, like I said, a lot of times at the end of the day, HUT is now popping up too. When you see these start to go off, these can be big movers the next morning, which is why I'm trying to bring these to your attention when I see it. They just brought up the chart on VINO, interestingly enough. I think this is, when it came back, it went backwards or something. Sorry. All right, but maybe Vino should be on your watch list too. Maybe that's a sign for us. I don't know. But anyways, after hours was kind of yuck for the big names anyways, because of earnings. Datadog is popping up. Guys, I'm seeing a lot of, this is good for also finding a field, and tech seems to be popping up in the after hours. So I'd keep an eye on those tech plays going into tomorrow. And there's a few, surprisingly, Bitcoin related stocks, like mining companies like HUT, we see, and we saw BitF. It's odd that we see those because Bitcoin's dropping right now. So the fact that they're on here is interesting to me. So keep an eye on those tomorrow. I know that it may be showing to the downside, but if the SPY goes to the upside and Bitcoin tends to follow right now, then you might see that move to the upside tomorrow. Anyways, thank you so much for watching and have a great night.